Good morning, everyone. It's Sheila, and welcome to my first 2019 episode of PJs and Coffee Time. And this morning I've got my coffee in my Las Vegas mug, because if you follow my vlogs, you know that I did go to Las Vegas a couple weeks ago, I guess. And you know, I love my mugs, so I could not resist this really pretty mug. It's a black gray with a little bit of red. I just think it's so pretty. You all know I collect my mugs. I love coffee mugs, and so I just could not resist it. So today's video, I'm going to apologize because it is actually going to be kind of a rushed. I'm going to be doing a get ready with me, PJs and coffee time, chit chat, you know, like kind of like all combined into one, because I actually have to be somewhere in a little while. So I'm truly trying to get ready and talk at the same time. So I apologize if this video seems a little bit like rushed or whatever, because that's not my intent. But I do want watching me for the very first time and you're not familiar with what I'm talking about, like what PJs and coffee times are, go ahead and read the description box, because I will have a full description of exactly what this entails in that area. So I don't spend a lot of time going over that right now. We're just going to tell you to skip down to that section right now, read it, and act appropriately. But a very quick version is I generally speak to you all in a very comfortable environment, and I ask that you all do the same, because I do promote that beauty comes from within here, not so much what you put on the face and all of that stuff. Hence why I normally do these without any makeup on. So got that out of the way. And I do usually share with you all a tip of the day. And today's tip is something that is such an old throwback item, and it's something that probably everyone has used at some point or another. And some of you may already still use it. I just had been one of those people that had just kind of neglected the use of it, and I just didn't even like think about it. I got, you know, you get caught up with all the YouTube items that you're supposed to try, and you just, you know, like you start to find these remedies for things, and you're like, oh, well, this person tried this, and blase, and then you forget like what your mama used to use, you know what I mean? So that being said, I just want to share with you all that lately I have been using chapstick on my lips. Plain old chapsticks. I've got one in my bedroom by my bed. I've got one in my bathroom, and I have one in my beauty room now, because I am trying to transition back in there. And then I keep one in my purse. So like I realized by an accidental use of it how great it works. So anyway, so that being said, I haven't used any of my lip balms or any of that other stuff since I've been using that, which I've been using it now. Probably been using it about 2 months on and off. Just absolutely loving it. Just putting it on my lips every chance I get, with or without lipstick. Now, speaking of the lips, I will say there is a little bit of a thing hanging around on my lip right here. If you watch my vlogs again, you will know that I bumped my lip and I had a big swollen lip. And I thought, okay, my lip is taking forever to heal. And somehow or another, I think I encountered a fever blister along with all of that. So not only did I had a bump from my hit, but then I had a bump from the fever blister. And so yeah, so I am in the process of trying to heal this little condition that I have. So anyway, so let's just overlook it, because you know I keep things real, and this is what it looked like today. So I've already showered, I'm ready to go. I have already primed my face, and so since it's the new year, I kind of just wanted to, let me get a sip of this coffee. And I am drinking a new coffee, by the way. I've been drinking French roast, and I'd never had French roast before until when I was in Vegas, and now I'm just like loving French roast. And this is the Great Value brand. If you all shop at Walmart, it's a good, I mean, it's a good coffee and it's very inexpensive. So anyway, so yeah. So I figured since it's a new year, and I hope I can do this and talk at the same time and get dressed, because you know, sometimes I start talking and I don't do things that I need to do. So, and I'm gonna leave my phone on because I am meeting a friend here in a little bit, and I do need to, I want to be able to hear them if they call or text or anything like that. So anyway, so since it's going to be the new year, since we are in the new year, I felt like I wanted to have like a little bit of a discussion about the old year and us moving into our new year. So, you know, 2018 for all of us, most of us, some of us, whatever, was definitely a year to remember. I mean, we had death, we had diagnosis, we had illnesses come about, we had depression set in, we had loss of jobs, we had loss of relationships, children versus parenting issues, becoming grandparents. We just had it all in 2018. And I wish I could sit here and tell everybody that, oh, 2019 is just going to be like the best year ever. It's going to be better than ever. But that would be a lie, because inadvertently, I don't know what 2019 is going to hold for you or me. But I do know that because life is the way it is, that any and all of the things that I just mentioned will probably happen in 2019. It's our attitude that we take as these things happen that is going to make the difference. And if you're wondering what I'm putting on my face, I'm actually using my Marc Jacobs, which you all know that is by far my favorite foundation. But and I'm really skimping the bottle on this one, because this is the bottle that I thought, well, I mean, it's technically empty, but the other day I was just like, let me just see how much I can get out of here, just because I love this foundation so much. And I hadn't worn it in a long time, and I was just feeling that I needed to give it some love. Okay, so going back to the video. So yeah, so the truth of the matter is that we truly will have everything happen to us as normal. Whatever is in God's plans for us, it's going to happen. Whether we lose a loved one, a marriage falls apart, a marriage happen, children and mother and son have arguments, mother and daughter have arguments. Those things are going to happen for various people at various times throughout the course of 2019. Diagnosis of different illnesses, getting well from different illnesses, all of these things, the good, the bad, and the indifferent, is definitely going to happen. So what we have to do is we have to readjust. And what I like for us to do is to readjust our thinking and how we handle, okay, throwing things on the floor, our thinking and how we handle things in 2019. We can't do anything about life, because life is going to happen, and it's going to happen however the plans have been set in motion to happen. So what we need, so I would like to encourage everyone to practice. I'm not a big person on New Year's resolutions. I just don't really get into that whole thing, because I feel like those are broken promises that we make to ourselves. And then a lot of times I think people get caught up in trying to live up to that expectation, and they forget the meaning of what they chose to do the change for, if you know what I mean. Like for people that want to lose weight, the gyms are packed right now, which is why I sometimes boycott the gym at this time of year, because it's packed with all these people that aren't really have no intentions on continuing to go, but they are caught up in that whole I've got to prove something to you and myself and everybody else, and so I'm gonna be in this gym full force, and and then a few weeks will pass and they won't even know where their gym card is. That's just the way it is. So I would like for us not to do that. I would like for us to be realistic with ourselves. If you want to lose weight in 2019, don't jump up and go buy yourself a membership and run out to the gym and tell yourself, oh my God, I'm going to work out every day for the next 6 months and I'm going to lose 100 pounds. Or, don't do that to yourself, because chances are you're not going to do it. What you really need to focus on is saying, you know what, I need to be a better version of myself. And being a better version of myself, I am going to incorporate weight loss. Meaning I am going to start from the very basic, and I'm going to work my way up to where I am at a comfortable weight loss. Not try to do it all in one day, because it just isn't going to happen. And you're going to burn yourself out, and then you're going to just not, you're going to end up probably more weight gained than lost, because that's generally what happens. And then, we put a lot of pressure on ourselves. We say, financially, I got to be doing this in 2019, or whatever that new year is going to be. You say, oh my gosh, I have got to do this and I've got to do that. And there's no in between. There's no gray area. So you set out, you sit down, you do your budget. You're like, oh, you do all these things. And then like a month later, you've busted every budget, you've done everything wrong, because you just can't live up to those expectations. And that's why I choose not to do New Year's resolutions. I always say I'm going to try my best to be better the new year than I was the year before. I'm going to add something positive to my life. And so this year, my version is just creating, again, I want to re-innovate, creating a better version of myself. So I wake up in the mornings. We're already in, I don't know, what are we in, day 20 something? What is the new year? Where are we? What day of, January 19th is today's date. I'm actually recording this the day before. So when you see this, it'll be January the 20th. So we're 20 days in, or 19 days in, and what I've done since the new year have come in is I just try to wake up every morning and I thank God first for allowing me the opportunity to open my eyes and see another day. And then I gradually adjust my brain to thinking, what can I do to better myself today? How can I have a better version of myself today? As I walk to the restroom, because that's usually the very first thing I have to do every morning, is go to the bathroom. And, you know, I look in that mirror and I say, today is a new day, and I'm in the midst of creating a better version of myself. And that's how I start my day off every day. And then I choose a topic of what it is that I feel like I need to work on for that day. You know, I don't try to incorporate every single thought that I have in my head, like that I need to do it, whether it's my finances, my budgeting, my weight loss, or you know, whatever it is that I feel like that day, I take a small step in that direction. So when I look in the mirror and I say to myself, today is the day that I take another step in creating the better version of myself. So I kind of look back over all the things that have run through my mind of things that I want to do. And I don't feel that you necessarily have to share them with the world. Like, I don't have to tell you that, you know, I want to lose, you know, I don't know, another 5 pounds, or I want to make my finances better, or I don't want to drink coffee, or, you know, you don't, and none of those things necessarily apply to me. I'm just using things as an example. Some of them may not. I don't even know. I just shot some things off the top of my head. But whatever it is that is creating that better version of yourself, you don't have to share it with the world. You don't have to share it with your husband. You don't have to share it with your wife. You really don't have to share it with anybody. It's just between you and God. So, you know, and I think that helps it a lot better, because when you start telling people, oh, you know, like, I gotta, you know, this is what I'm creating this new version of myself, and these are the things that I'm gonna do, then they start to look at you with expectations of seeing those things happen, and then you create yourself for failure, or, you know, or future disappointments within yourself, and it just kind of snowballs, and it ends up being almost like making a New Year's resolution. So I don't encourage sharing them with anyone, as I'm not going to share with you all any of the things that I'm kind of focused on, that I'm asking God for assistance in and helping me as I create that new version of myself. So, you know, whether it's depression you're battling, whether it's weight loss, whether it's anxiety, whether you want to leave a marriage, whether you want to propose to someone, I don't know, whatever it is that you know, or you feel that in 2019 it's going to be that part of you creating that better version of yourself, then when you wake up in the morning and you look in that mirror, you know, first thank God for allowing you to wake up. But then when you make it to that mirror, and as you look at yourself, think about it and say, this is a step to creating that better version of myself, and take a step at it. Don't leap into it. Don't try to master it that day. Don't try to overcome everything in that second. Just take a small step into it. And as you take that small step into it, understand that there might be setbacks. Like, you're not perfect. You know, let's say if you say, I want to be better at handling my depression. I want to be better at accepting my husband's illness, or my wife's illness, or whatever the case may be. So this particular morning, you get up, you thank God for waking you up this morning and letting you see another day. You walk in front of the mirror and you look in the mirror and you say, okay, today I'm taking a small step into creating that better version of myself. And then you say, okay, but all today I can do, the only thing I can do is I'm almost there, but I'm just not there. So the only thing I can do is say, I'm going to take a shower and I'm going to put some clothes on, because I don't think I can walk out the front door. I don't think I can deal with the crowd. I don't think I can approach people and talk about my husband's illness. I don't think I can approach people and talk about my wife's illness. I just want to take a shower today, and I just want to make it to the living room couch. And even if I sit there and I soak all day, I made an effort. I took a shower, you know? So that one little small step is a step in the right direction. And each day, try to add to it. Try to make, you know, the step a little bit stronger, or, you know, add another item to that creating that newer version of yourself. And I think that when you do that, you will find that you're going to get there faster. You're going to get there with much more success, because no one has any idea that you're doing this but yourself and God. No one has any expectations of what you're trying to do but yourself and God. And when you're taking the small steps, when you do have a setback, you're not falling back as far. And I think that inadvertently, that's how we make the leap eventually into that creating that better version of yourself. You have the rest of the year, you have until it happens to make it happen. The important thing is taking the steps into it to make it happen. You know, like just knowing that, you know, eventually you will get there. I can't stress that enough. It's such a thing for me. And see, now I'm starting to preach, y'all, because y'all know I get on my tangents, and you know, it's so funny because, you know, I could never, you know, I could never be in ministry, because I feel like I'm too real, and I don't think anybody would ever, not that I've ever desired to be in ministry, but I've always said that I could never do anything like that, because I'm way too real and people wouldn't appreciate me in the pulpit. But I sure can preach here on YouTube. I can get fired up in a minute. But yeah, so, and I'm getting ready to put on some brows right now. This stuff is really thick here. And I'm using my thing that I always use, which is that NYX eyebrow gel. I love this stuff. This stuff is so good. But I have found a new love that you guys are going to see me use. And this is that Gimme Brow. Y'all, I kind of like this stuff. I think I tried it once before, and I don't know if I didn't know what I was doing. Okay, where's my, okay. Shoot, you know, I didn't bring my makeup wipes in here to clean off my, okay, y'all, I might have to, okay. So I had to do that part with my little brush, like without talking to y'all, because I'm not that good, okay? But this stuff I'm liking, and I've kind of like fixed my brows a little bit better. I kind of went on and shaved them a little bit. Not, you know, not a lot, but just fixed those little areas, because I felt like I was getting some depth in my brows enough to where I could fix those weak spots. So I have tried to do that. I mean, my brows are by far not perfect, or not even close to being pretty brows, actually. They actually look pretty sad. But it is what it is. And I just feel that, so as I close out this video, I just want to remind you all, and I just want to reiterate that there's no pressure or no need to be like anybody else. There is no pressure or no need to say, because this person handles their depression a certain way, that I need to handle mine a certain way. Or because this person handled the loss of their marriage this way, I need to handle the loss of my marriage. Or don't feel that you have to do anything based on another person's way of doing things. You need to look within yourself and figure out what it is and how important and all of that stuff, just for yourself alone, nobody else. If you're suffering from rheumatoid arthritis and some days you are in so much pain and you're thinking that I wish I could, but I just can't, then don't look at the other person that may be suffering from rheumatoid arthritis also and say, you know what, but they were able to do blase, and like, why can't I? What you do is you just look at that person and you say, thank you, Jesus, for their ability to be able to do what it is that they can do. And then you say, today I create a better version of myself. I am going to try and lift my leg up just a little bit higher than I lifted it up yesterday. And to me, I've accomplished something. And maybe by tomorrow or by the end of the week, I'll be able to walk across the floor without my cane or without, whatever, just like that other person is. Just taking those little steps and knowing within yourself that that as you take them, you're gradually creating that better version of yourself. So I am going to okay, my apologies. I had to start rushing to get ready, so I just kind of like cut out on the video, and I do apologize for that. But I basically just want to conclude everything by saying, let's not be in a rush to be like everybody else, or to feel the pressure that everything has to be perfect or we have to get to this goal yesterday. Take your time, be persistent, understand what it is that you're asking of yourself. Don't put too much pressure on yourself, and just try to tackle each task, each thing that happens for 2019 in stride, with God by your side, believing in God, believing in yourself, and just do the best version of yourself, whether you're dealing with whatever happens, as you deal with whatever happens and come about in 2019. As I've stated, many of the same things that happened in 18 will happen in 19, because that is life and there's nothing we can do about it. So just take every day as one step at a time. And I think that you will find that the pressure, the burden won't be as heavy. And I think you will find that there's success on the other side of that. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I hope to see you guys in another video. If you like vlogs, I do make an attempt to vlog as often as I can. I don't like to claim a daily vlogger, but I kind of am a daily vlogger. So yeah, I look forward to seeing you guys in the near future. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. And if you're curious about the end results of my makeover this morning, or my get ready with me, comment below and I will put in the description box what I'm wearing. But otherwise I won't. I don't do anything fantastic. I just do my makeup however I can. I'm not a makeup guru. I'm just a 53-year-old woman that absolutely loves doing this, and I just do whatever I do. So, but if you are interested, or if you want to know any particular product, please feel free to comment, and I definitely will respond in the comment, or I will go ahead and add it into the description area. Thanks again, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.